I'll use this one just to show kind of what the arm can do from first person view. So right now, this movement, it's called pronation. This one is supination. This is me just having like a neutral wrist. This is radial deviation, tilting the wrist up. Ulnar deviation, tilting it down. Flexion, bringing it in. Or flexion. Notice that the pommel went over my wrist this time. And wrist extension, okay? So at the beginner level, all like what most people who've been fencing under 2 years need to focus on is just keeping the arm in a neutral position. So that means like, let's pretend I'm, and I see this with a lot of kids who use Belgian grips. They're gonna start a little bit supinated, and they're gonna kind of keep their palm facing their chest. So it's gonna be like, you see them in this type of guard where they're bringing their hand really close to themselves. So what that looks like from a front perspective will be something kind of like this, where you can see like the opponent can see the back of their hand, okay? What that's gonna do is it's gonna lead to a lot of this type of movement. So I'll show you, if you look in the mirror, right, you see the person stretching their arm out like this to kind of karate chop the person's sword. So let's pretend someone was pointing at me, and my hand is tilted off to this side, right? That means that my parry is a lot of times just going to hinge at the elbow. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Whoops. So this is that hinging at the elbow. There's a ton of good people who do this stuff, like Lafort. I think Nagano might have been an example if I remember correctly. I think Adiri. Yeah, there's quite a few people who like this type of movement. So like a parry 4 will be more like a parry down. A parry 6 will be more like parry up, like thumb getting away from the shoulder. Alternatively, you can rotate the wrist inward. So you can pronate the wrist. This is how a lot of classic Soviets teach, right? Like this is going to be your easiest parry 4. Instead of going downwards, you're just going to turn your hand and it's going to cover this high line. The downside of that is, well, if someone goes low, if someone's going under you, you'll have to switch to 7, because if you just keep going, you're just opening yourself up even more. Some people teach 4-8, 4-8, 4-8, like something kind of like this, because like creating this like this elliptical movement, because they're like, yeah, well, as long as you can just keep the blade in one line, like you see the pommel isn't really adjusting in my wrist, it's still creating this big circle in front of me that can pretty much stop anything.